Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Dole, aka the Big D of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, back again with another video game review in my spooktacular October. Now, as you recall, last time around, I had reviewed all three games of the Castlevania series for the NES. This time, I'm going to review all three games for the Game Boy. Now, I was only going to do the first series since I'm more familiar with those in the third game, Castlevania Legends, but I might as well throw it in since I have finally seen, a couple of walkthroughs of it. Anyway, first of all, let's review Castlevania The Adventure, or The Castlevania Adventure, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, actually, it's been almost 30 years since it came to the US, but actually, it would be 30 years ago this week it would actually come to Japan originally. Released by Konami, the Castlevania The Adventure, I'm going to say is okay and all. I mean, now it focuses on an ancestor of Simon Belmonts named Christopher, who goes on a quest to defeat, you guessed it, Dracula. Now, the game, however, only has 4 stages, and unlike other games, there's no sub-weapons, unfortunately, but hearts are used to restore health. You have only 3 lives, after which the player must restart the level should you lose one. Now, weapons can be upgraded, such as the whip, into the chain whip, and then a flame whip. There's no stairs unlike other Castlevania games. If you take damage from enemies, it downgrades an upgraded weapon. At the end of each level, there is a primary evil to confront. Now, there are lots of other things to find, but I'm probably not going to mention too much about it. Now, here's my downside about it, and that's the jumping. You're going to have a hell of a time getting through this game. This game is pretty notorious for its, weak jump and what have you. You gotta be real quick on the draw, especially on falling platforms, too, as a matter of fact. Yeah. However, the good thing is the graphics aren't too bad, but I've got to give credit for the soundtrack, though. The soundtrack to this is absolutely amazing. So, I will say that the game has received mixed reviews and what have you, so anyway, the game would actually get a remake years later on the Nintendo Wii as Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth. I haven't really taken the time to watch a whole review of that, but this game has been re-released on maybe a Konami Game Boy compilation, I'm sure of it, and also more recently on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection earlier this year. Would I recommend this? I don't know. You gotta be a hardcore gamer to play this game, okay? If you don't think you're hardcore enough, stay away from it. Believe me. Alright, next game is Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge from 1991. Now, this I think was a big redemption over its predecessor. This time, Christopher Belmont is back, and this time Dracula has kidnapped his son, Soleil, I hope that's how you pronounce that name, at his coming-of-age feast, and turns him into a demon. With his mystical powers, Dracula retakes human form and rebuilds his castle, forcing Christopher to confront him again. And so you get into it, and this time sub-weapons are back, but you only get the holy water and the axe. Now, the axe is replaced by the crossbow in the Japanese version. Now, there's 4 initial levels, which you can pick a la Mega Man, and they actually have some really cool music. Now, the 4 you can pick are Air, Plant, Earth, and Crystal. The Crystal Castle has probably one of my favorite songs in this. Once you've completed all 4, you will go on to defeat to Dracula's castle. The game also includes a password system, just like Super Castlevania 4, which was released the same year this was, which I'll be reviewing that next time. Now, I will say the graphics are great. I think the music is extremely amazing, and I'd say, hell yeah, you gotta give this game a try. I know I've not played much of Game Boy games. If I did play Game Boy, I would love to play this game. And of course, this was featured on a Konami Game Boy compilation as well. And it was also more recently released on that Game Boy compilation. I mean, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection as well. So definitely look into that one. Now then, because I think that's really a fun game, Castlevania 2 on Game Boy. Now, years later, we would get one more game in the form of Castlevania Legends, released originally in Japan 1997 and then early the following year in March of 1998. Which I found only what's a couple of walkthroughs of the game, but well, this is kind of more different. Now, this is kind of hard to explain. It begins in Transylvania in the year 1450. In the game, although not the series' overall canon, we focus on the first Belmont to confront Dracula, Sonia Belmont. She also meets Alucard, who seeks revenge against her father, Dracula. After his defeat, he swears to Sonia that as long as there is evil in the world, he will be resurrected. In response, she swears her family will always defeat him. This is kind of the first game in the series timeline until Lament of Innocence. Well, I can tell you that this is pretty cool. There's a hint score showing how many enemies have been defeated in each stage, and like the other games, striking candles will cause items to appear. However, unlike most of them, the traditional sub-weapons are replaced by 5 unique magic spells called soul weapons. Hearts are used as currency to acquire weapons. And Sonya can also enter a burning mode where she becomes invincible, moves faster, and has more powerful attacks. Though this power can only be used once per life or level. Now then, I have seen just some plays. I think this does have some good music. Would I recommend it? Well, sure. I mean, this came out kind of late in the Game Boy life cycle, and you can also play on the Super Game Boy as well. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about the Castlevania Game Boy games. Give them a try. You might like them or you may not. Well, except maybe Castlevania 2, of course. Let me know what you thought about these 3 games in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for watching. Join me tomorrow when I will review Super Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo and Castlevania Bloodlines for Sega Genesis. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.